welcome to episode 52 of Both Down, the #1 Blood Bowl podcast.
During the year of the Old Dirty Ginger.
That is true. It is my year. Old Dirty Ginger, Kilowoggy, Steve, and with me as always is Scott, Fat Finley, Scott Prime. I'm not making a big deal out of this year, though.
Why not?
Because I don't care.
It's your year, man.
It's my year to complete the 24, yes.
As long as you live long enough.
Thanks.
I bring that up because
not
there's
wrong.
a lot of people who have died already early this year.
Of cancer in their 60s and 80s.
I'm pretty sure you are cancer-ridden, my friend.
You're going to feel so bad when that's true.
You eat a lot
You're
of...
just going to be rolling around in my figures like Scrooge McDuck. And you'd be like, oh, poor dead Steve. He had so many Blood Bowl figures. They're all mad.
Your brother's going to come over and I'm going to be like, okay, so like all this stuff needs to go. But, you know, I kept my Blood Bowl stuff in here, so that
Right.
it will stay.
Is this Steve's TV? No, that's my TV. Is this what was Steve's? The bed and some of the clothes.
They probably wouldn't believe that you sold all your comics. So I would say, like, well, he had some comics in the closet, and I would just give away some of those just to kind of make it look realistic.
Comics?
Yeah, comic books.
I don't have any comics.
I know that, but your family, knowing you, probably wouldn't believe that you sold all of them.
Okay.
So I'd kind of make it more realistic. Like, he had a few boxes of comics in his closet with my comics, so let me just give you some. And then they would like, okay, Scott's not lying. It's true.
So in your plan,
Uh-huh.
you're just getting rid of your old comics. Because they know I sold my stuff.
Yeah, if they're
There's not a single member of my family that doesn't know that.
Yeah, but they don't believe you.
No, they do.
Nah.
They've all seen my one room that I live in.
I've talked to your dad.
They don't think
he's
that
like,
I have a
any day
secret
now,
storage.
Stevie's going to start collecting comics again. And I'm always like, yes, sir, I know.
No.
Okay, then fine. I'll go in there and I'll take the Blood Bowl stuff that I need, and then I'll leave everything else there. How about that?
You take all the Blood Bowl stuff. You know it.
I'd probably take it out.
As well you should.
Before I'd call the ambulance.
Yeah. Justifiably so.
I mean, what's the big hurry? I mean,
I don't know. If I'm dead, I'm dead.
right.
Yeah.
I'm sure by the time this podcast officially comes out, 2 or 3 more people, famous people we know, will die.
Hey, it's been a good, slow week so far.
Well, we've only had like 2 people die
This week?
Yeah. Was that like Glenn Fry
Oh, yeah.
and some other
Some wrestler died, too.
and Iron Mike Sharp,
Yeah.
who was a jobber for years.
Not the Sharpie we know.
Not the Sharpie we know. What?
Sharp. Houghton.
Oh, no. This is Sharp with an E at the end.
Okay.
Is there a difference?
No, it's fine.
We're rambling.
As we do. Feels good to actually be back on the mic. With the laundry in the background.
Well, people got to do laundry.
Yeah.
And we are lucky enough that our studio is so big that it has like a laundry room.
We got the deluxe studio with the attached laundromat.
Right. I mean, the guys from 3-9 Block have been here.
Yeah.
The guys from Slurpcast have been here. So they know all about the studio.
I would say that we have the second best studio.
Second best.
To Drew's Dungeon.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Is it nice?
There's not many league trophies floating around there like
No.
our studio, but hey.
Yeah, we had to put in an extra special case just to hold all of our trophies.
Yeah. Tons of plastic hardware up there, buddy.
So, what has been going on Blood Bowl-wise?
Let's see. We started our preseason league tournament.
And I have succeeded in losing 2 straight games with my frogs.
Yeah,
I lost 3-0 to Underworld.
Steve needs help with the frogs.
I almost got pitch cleared. No, I need help with the dice. Ugh.
I think it's time to buy a catcher. I know you've been avoiding that, but I think you need a catcher.
Well, in about 4 games, when I have enough money stored up to actually buy one,
Yeah, you've been getting your butt kicked.
I've been getting my butt kicked, and I've been rolling 1s and 2s for money. Not conducive to building a team.
My Nurgle team's in the final of this tournament.
Cool.
It's my Nurgle team versus a Lizardman team. And the Lizardman team, this guy bought his 6th Saurus. He already has a Croxagore. And now he has 2 Skinks with 3 strength.
That's a little annoying.
It's really bad for the league coming out.
Just targets
I know. I'm
that
just
we
saying
can't knock down.
the one thing that you wanted to wipe out, now he's only going to have 4 Skinks on the field. And you hope that they all had 2 strength, but now they...
Well, that's when you just make sure that he goes up against my Chaos Dwarves first round.
Okay.
And we use a little tackle, and he goes down. A little gang foul, a little bribing the ref.
I'm hoping the rest of the people in the league will be smart enough to, when these Skinks are laid down on the ground, that they kick them.
I would hope so, but I doubt it.
I doubt it too. It's going to either have to... Their deaths are on our heads. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Or John. John's just
John's
fouling
a fouler.
machine.
Winged human.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to foul people. So
Likes to give things the boot.
he does. But that's really all that's been going on. I'm glad the league's finally starting. It's
Only, 4 months past due?
Yeah, typically we start around Chaos Cup or right before, right after.
Mm-hmm.
And this year we've been heavily delayed, and oh well.
Yeah, it happens.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
We're ahead anyways. I mean, this is the overall ahead of schedule. So, but 10th season for our league. It's pretty awesome.
Yes, it is.
Good stuff.
So any news from GW that came out that we didn't presidential elections, NAF?
Oh, that's right.
Congrats to San.
Yeah, Mike Davies.
Mike Davies.
San 7815246.
24601. I
just call him Mike.
0382.
Yeah, he's got some weird stormtrooper name.
OU812.
Yeah, OU812. He's the new president, and they just named some other positions today. Actually, I believe.
Yeah,
I saw that on Facebook. I can't remember what the positions
Spanish
were.
guy.
It was both Spanish guys. I thought.
Both. Okay.
I thought so. Sorry, I don't have that. You threw a curveball on me. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, no, I was thinking.
So many other podcasts have talked about it.
We talked about the figures coming out, right? Being shown.
We have not actually.
Oh, okay.
Once again, we listen to all the Blood Bowl podcasts, so we always think that everybody's heard this, but they might not listen to the other podcasts. So, yeah, GW has released sketches and like a plastic
prototype plastic models
of an orc and a human, and we've seen sketches of looks like a Nurgle and some dwarves.
Yeah,
so
they look pretty good.
They do.
They look very close to the video game, I think.
Do you think so? Well, the orc does for sure.
Yeah. Maybe not completely, but
to me they look different enough that I want them. Even though I have an orc team and all these teams.
People are talking that because it's a thrower on the human team. Mm-hmm. People are talking about how it looks like the plastic one. I don't get that. Is it just because of the position?
Probably the same pose. It's a thrower. He's throwing the ball.
I keep thinking 5th edition because of the armor.
Yeah.
Because it has that, plate armor look to him.
I think they look really cool. I think this is exciting. I've heard some people speculate that they're on bigger bases, so the scale's going to change. And honestly, we don't really know.
No, we can speculate from here to tomorrow, but it's not going to matter.
And even if they do, what are we going to do about it? I mean, I'm probably still going to buy them.
Yeah.
And if everybody wants to change to that format, we'll change. And if everybody wants not to change, then we'll stick with the format.
If it's a 40-millimeter board, we're going to have to hear about it from certain people.
Of the size queens up in...
on both sides of the issue. It's going to be the issue that rips Blood Bowl apart.
See, we've been playing with those for years, and now they finally listen. Let me say, if it goes to 40-millimeter boards, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I'm still going to use my 25-millimeter people.
Yep.
And the new
they
ones
do
I buy.
too.
So.
But no, I'm excited. Everybody should be excited. Also, some of the sketches said chaos when it was clearly like a Nurgle warrior and stuff. I mean, So people are speculating that it's either going to be a Chaos or a Nurgle team, a human team, an Orc team, and a Dwarf team.
I'm wondering if they're doing...
Like in a box
My
set.
personal opinion, right, is I'm thinking there's going to be 4 races in a box. And it's going to be kind of like the card game, where you've got 2 houses. So you've got the Empire League, and you got the Chaos League. So that's why I said Chaos, is that they're evil, like the Dwarves would be, or the Orcs would be. Then the other 2 would be on the Empire side. So...
I've gone back and forth
I don't
on
know.
a couple ways here. One, I thought they might just be making... I think they're going to make a new field and stuff, obviously. You
I
should.
would assume so, yeah.
Because there's so many people come in through the video game that don't have these things.
Yeah.
I
It should be a
I've thought
box
either
that's ready
one
to
big
go.
box
Yeah.
with 4 teams, 12 figures per team,
Mm-hmm.
like we've seen in the past, but with it's 4 teams instead of 2. Or you have the Orcs and humans, and then you have an add-on pack that just doesn't come with the field or the dice and stuff like that. That's just, it's Dwarves versus Chaos.
Yeah.
And it's like in a pack with them face-to-face,
See, I was kind of thinking sort of along the same lines. Like, you do this, but then you could have a Chaos, because we assume Nurgle's going to have, your Pestigores and your Rotters. But I just thought maybe they'd have like an add-on pack to where it'd be new roster with a Minotaur and some more human-looking Chaos Warriors. And then you can kind of change. I don't know why, but I'm sort of thinking they're going to go with like how they used to do teams. They'll do that again, but give you an actual roster so that you can field that specific team.
They might.
Just make it easier. Show people what to do, but who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? I know I'm excited about it. I've already told the game shop, I was like, you let us know as soon as you can order these. He was actually very excited. He was like, I wish Games Workshop would just do away with fantasy and just do these little special things,
Specialist games are easier to support, I'm sure.
Well, people walk in, they see it kind of more like a board game.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. One time DLF is like a Space Hulk or something like that. So anyways, a lot of speculation. Nobody knows. And, we can talk about it all day long. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Some of us are going to buy it no matter what.
That would be us.
It could be...
Of things I've bought lately, which I know I say I don't buy stuff too often, but I've been trading too, so it doesn't count. I did get a 5th Ed... what is it? Doom Roller?
Death Roller.
Death Roller?
Whatever.
I didn't know. That's right. I was thinking for some reason it changed in the 5th Ed, but no, it's still a Death Roller. In box, so that's cool. And I got a blister pack of dice. Sealed.
You probably traded a lot for that, didn't you?
No, I traded 4 dice because there were 4 dice in it and some miscellaneous figures that I wasn't really going to do anything with. And a both down pen. So, ooh.
It is cool that they're in package. That is like one of the only items you own in package that I would keep in package.
Right.
The other stuff I would open up and move on with life.
Yeah, it's cool to have.
I think it's weird that they sold the dice with 4 of them
I don't think so.
in a package.
Because generally when you're playing, you only need 2 dice for 90% of your dice rolls.
Okay.
At most.
So you think that...
So it's 2 dice per opponent.
Okay.
And then if you need, you just borrow 1. So that made sense to me.
Okay, well... It's still different. It's a different enough
Yeah.
item that I would keep it in package,
Yeah.
but the other stuff that you have piles of, I would open that stuff up.
Never going to happen.
You're,
I must save all the unopened
when the cancer
packages.
takes you from all the frozen pizzas you eat, I'm going to run in there and I'm going to open those packages and I'm going to put the packages on your body.
That will be a desecration. You don't understand. When we go to Austin, I'm probably coming back with more. Because Kent's like, I got a basket full of unopened stuff. Really? I must have them.
Yeah, you have a problem.
It's fun. I'm not Chance.
No, you're worse.
I am not. Chance has sealed teams.
Okay. We're not going to argue about this on the podcast. We'll save it for some other time.
No. People enjoy this.
Do they?
I also bought a modified 2nd Ed Dark Elf team.
If you have any type of just crap that has somehow Blood Bowl related, like you dipped all your miniatures in dog turds because you wanted them to smell like Nurgle's rot, and you were modifying them with feathers.
This is the only time I bought modified stuff because I already had modified second ed guys.
Don't listen to this, folks. This guy has a bunch of cat figures that he bought off eBay that have shields and swords because he was going to make a cat team.
That was at the very beginning of when we started.
He has about 17 different Lizardmen teams, and a few of them he has given away because he realizes he doesn't need that many Lizardmen teams, and they're all just modified old little plastic lizards and stuff.
I gave those away because they were a gift from Extreme. That seems mean. But I mean, those were the first ones I had, and then I upgraded, so... And I only have 3 Lizardman teams.
Steve
now.
has well over 60 completed teams.
I don't know about
but
that.
But he does not have all the races finished off, which is sad.
Not painted, no.
Yeah. He has a problem.
What am I missing painted?
I don't know. You have so much stuff. Who would know?
I would know.
Who would know?
Nuffle would know.
We had a friend last night who was over here thinking about buying a Skaven team. And Steve, like Kilowog the Hutt, slithers out here with 3 options of extra.
2 options.
Oh, I thought you had a 3rd edition Skaven team too. No,
you
did.
3rd edition and Black Scorpion.
Okay, I thought you had a 2nd edition option too.
No.
But gave this friend, here's a couple options because Steve has tons of extra Skaven teams.
Why did Steve have those?
I have no idea.
I got the Black Scorpion super cheap on eBay when I didn't expect to win it. And then the other ones were my 3rd ed team until I found a better one. So now I have them extra.
Steve can't stop buying. He doesn't see a team and go, I already have that. This is a good deal. I'll tell my friends. And he'll go, yeah, I'll buy it, and then I'll
No, it depends on the team.
Work my way up.
If it's a better team than what I have, and if it's a good price, yeah, I might buy it.
Okay. One day you're going to have children, and then you can't do this stuff. So I am jealously envious of you.
Unless I whore those children out to Hollywood, and they make commercials and movies.
There you go.
And they can spend all their money and go play Blood Bowl across the world.
That will not cause any problems with the children. There's a 90% chance they'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah. But if they're addicted to drugs, then it's not my fault. I don't have to worry about it.
I don't see how. You just spent their money on Blood Bowl stuff.
To make
Definitely
sure
encouraging.
They don't get addicted to drugs.
Right.
I'm a good dad.
Right. Exactly.
I'm a good mom.
I knew you were going to say that.
I had to.
Only a select few will get that joke. Anyway.
I think it's just us and Steve Eckert.
My girlfriend would get that,
Oh,
too.
that's true, yeah.
But luckily she doesn't listen.
And sadly, your oldest daughter would probably get it. Okay, so enough psychoanalysis. What are we doing this episode?
Well, Steve, we're going to talk some fluff in the first opening segment. I guess we should save this for the segment, but there's somebody who called out to us. They really wanted us...
It's a both down, throwdown.
To talk about... It was basically approve our teams.
Yeah.
And talk about our teams and what you'd change. Is the way I understood it. So we're going to do that in our opening segment. Then we're going to talk about Spiky Cup coming up. So this is part 2 of the Oklahoma Bowl weekend. That's set for March 12th and 13th.
The ever-exciting, always-changing Spiky Cup.
And then after that, we are blessed and lucky or blessed, however you want to look at it.
Shocked.
I'm shocked, so thrilled to say that we have a whole segment dedicated to, so far, all the sponsors for Oklahoma Bowl weekend. So we're
basically it's an excuse to try to get you to come out because we want you to come out, and we're going to have so much cool stuff.
It's just wait till the third segment, and then of course we'll have some shout outs at the very end.
Yep.
So
okay,
anything else?
That's all I have.
All right, we'll take a break, and we're going to come back and make some people mad by talking about their fluff.
Both Down is brought to you by Wizards Asylum, your premier source for comics and games in Norman, Oklahoma. Check them out online at their new home, wizardsnorman.com.
Welcome back to segment 1 with the Both Down Throwdown.
Is that what we're going to call this?
I have no idea.
I think this is a cry for help.
Both down, cry for help.
I think this started
Beep, 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 beep.
when I was really upset with, I don't know, somebody talking about their team names or something on Facebook. Because every time on Facebook there's a thread on like, hey, I'm going to run a...
Those are the most annoying threads. I got a slam team coming up.
And can you tell me what I should name them? And then you'll have like...
Frog Corton, Frog Legs Jamboree,
or, you know...
Hop, Skip, and a Jump.
Slan for the ages. And, it's all just puns, which I get some people like that. But if you listen to this podcast, you know I don't. So
Well,
I'm not
no.
even going to really be apologetic about it.
Let's not discredit puns. We like puns. We don't like lazy puns that don't fit into the fantasy football universe. For instance...
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, like...
Because...
One of my teams that I have coming up, possibly, is going to be the Pig Trader Knobheads. Like Knoblar Heads. It's a pun name, because knobheads. So that's fine. But it's fitting into the dynamic of team, name, and city place. So
I guess the best way to describe this, if you've never listened before or heard me rant, I consider Blood Bowl not just a board game, not a tactics game. I consider it a sports role-playing game.
yes.
Even when I go to tournaments. When I go to tournaments, I take a team that I've either had in a league or that I would plan to play in my league, and I kind of look at the tournament teams, since the rosters get reset and stuff, as maybe the best of the best. The all-star team.
Right.
You know, the best Lakers ever, if they could play and go to just a one-off tournament, who would they be? Or something like that. So it's sports role-playing to me. So I liked most sports franchises, at least in America, and I think around the world, is you have a region, a city, a place, and some type of mascot most of the time. And if those are puns, that's kind of okay. But when you have stuff like Slan for the Ages or Morning Wood, I know I've bastard that one for a Wood Elf team. I get it. It's a boner joke. It's funny. But I don't care.
Right.
And when I play you at tournaments, because it's a role-playing game, I like to play teams that have like... doesn't have to be cool names, what I consider cool, but a team that fits within this role-playing universe that I want to live in.
Right.
So I'm very picky. So I think I went on a rant on Twitter, which I do quite maybe semi-often sometimes.
That's what Twitter's for half the time.
And Nate Ball from the Skulls and One podcast reached out to us and said something like, he actually reached out to you, and I think I was attached to it. What did he say?
I think he mentioned to a certain Twitter account.
Okay.
Are we pulling back the curtain on that, or?
Oh, did he go to the Both Down approved Twitter
Yeah.
account? Okay. And he got something denied?
Well, I think he was just wondering if team names that he has, like, can you check ours and see if they're good?
Okay.
I think he made it kind of like a joke, like, hey, why don't you look at ours? I'm like, okay, yeah, send them on.
Oh, that's right. You said
Yeah.
send them in. We'll make it a segment. So these are
Here
team
you go.
names
A segment.
from the RABBL, which is the Richmond area Blood Bowl League.
Yeah.
And as we were preparing for this, I told Steve, I think Nate's trying to make sure some listeners stop listening to us, because we're probably going to make some people mad.
I think I won't, but I'm pretty sure you will.
I will,
I might.
because they've asked me like my opinion on this. So here's
So to spell it out, he gathered all the names and the fluff behind the teams and sent it to us.
he gathered as much fluff as those coaches provided,
Right?
Which is not a whole lot, and we're not going to read
More than
out
I
some
have
of
on
the
most
fluff.
of mine.
I mean, honestly, these guys put a lot of effort into a lot of fluff and stories behind their stuff. So
Right.
I will give them credit for that, because they're thinking. That's good. Instead of just coming up with a team called the Averheim Eagles, just because, it's set in the old world. These guys have actually thought some stuff. But, so here's what we're going to do for this segment. I have the team names listed. I'm going to... First, I'm going to talk about the ones that have some fluff with them. I'm going to, whether they like it or not, make some suggestions on why I like it, why I don't like it, or what I would have changed.
Right.
And I'm going to judge this just like it was my buddies that is in our Dragonfire Blood Bowl League. Steve knows very well that people will say, I'm going to run a human team. They throw a name at me, and I say...
the black-eyed bees.
I like the players' teams. I like the players' names. You're going to have to kind of adjust this. Well, why do I have to adjust it? It does not fit in our role-playing universe. And so they'll adjust it. My players who play in our league know to go the extra mile. And,
Yeah, I think the best example was the black-eyed bees
Right.
that Alan wanted to play. As a parody of black-eyed peas, plus they are women who've been...
in the news as being
beaten
up.
So you get black eyes. And we basically just changed the spelling of black-eyed and then put a mount in front of it. So it was Mount Black-Eyed Bees. Simple enough. Simple
Right.
fix, and it satisfied both parties.
Now, granted, still not my favorite team name, but it fit the criteria that I was looking for.
And like the Hana Barbarians.
Right. Alan also wanted a team called the Hanna-Barbarians. He thought that was cute and funny, which it was. I said, make it fit this universe. And so he did. He changed Hannah to the spelling of H''N''A, I believe.
Something like that,
or N-A-A. And they were a tribe of barbarians, basically.
Yeah.
And
So instead of Captain Caveman as your guy, it was... I don't remember what he named his people. But they were plays off of the cartoon names. They weren't just straight-up cartoon names.
Right. So, before anybody gets mad, Nate has submitted these. He did not tell me anybody's names who...
Nate and Jeremiah.
I know Jeremiah's the new person on the podcast over there.
Okay.
I'm not forgetting Jeremiah.
He was a bullfrog.
No, he wasn't. Not this one.
He was a good friend of mine?
But Nate sent these in. That's why
I
I'm
know.
using him. He did not send anybody's name, so... First off, I don't...
There are two names that I could never have as a child or a wife. Jeremiah or Barbara. Because every time you say Jeremiah, I'm going to say, he was a bullfrog. Just, I can't stop that. And Barbara, all the time, I'm going to go, they're coming to get you, Barbara, from Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
I can't do anything about those two names.
I'm sorry.
It's just hardwired into my head.
That's weird.
Just had to throw that out.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I forgot even what I was going to talk about.
Fluff names.
So, I don't mean to offend anybody if I say your name's trash, but in my...
We're not judging you as people.
But in my role-playing, sports role-playing, fantasy football universe, it is trash.
Yeah.
And I know some of my names suck too, so deal with it.
I'm going to guess, just looking at this list.
Well, I'm going to talk about the ones with the fluff first.
I'm just going to say,
Out of the list, he gave us...
I don't know how many.
9, 12, 15, 18 names.
You're going to approve one, almost approve another, say that two could be fine, but you don't really like them, but it kind of works. And the rest you're just going to hate.
I have 2 yeses, 2 yeses, 3 maybes, and yeah.
Okay, then I'm not bad. I'm not too far off.
You're not far off. So, first off, we're going to talk about the ones that came with fluff.
Okay.
The Barak Var Ball Draggers. This is a bunch of...
This is one I put as a maybe.
This is dwarves. It's a very short little paragraph about how they're drunk dwarves, and they're called the Ball Draggers. Now, what I don't... Barak Var is a location. I don't get ball draggers. Do they have big nuts? Is this a pun that they have big scrotums? Is that what we're talking about? Is this a scrotum joke with balls?
I took it as that.
Are they dwarves with long arms? So this is a joke. So
That was exactly the reason I thought you would not approve this one.
So what I have written down is, yes, it meets the criteria, and I would deal with it, but either I need some more fluff to like justify the ball dragging.
Yeah.
Like, do they kick and scream to make sure they score a touchdown, even if they had to drag the ball, gripped by other people, or, something like that? So I put yes, but I'd like the name mascot to change.
Right.
Next on the list is the Beast of Burden. One, it doesn't have a location.
Mm-hmm.
That drives me crazy. Or an area or whatever. And I do think about 2% of the time or whatever, you can have a team that's built off their reputation and not really need one, like the Chaos All-Stars and the Old Fluff.
Right.
I also think
and there are really a lot of examples of teams like that in the old stuff.
There is.
The Gits or the just whatever. There's plenty of ones like that, but I understand.
And if you look at this guy's fluff,
I think there's two on that list that I would side fit well enough without the team or the city name.
Okay.
But we'll get there.
So he goes on about this coach, and he mentions that the coach is a beast lord from Cloven Hoof Herd. So therefore, you already have a built-in maybe location area, Cloven Hoof. Just to the north of the borders of Norsa in, I guess this is called Garhirs. Are you looking at the printout?
No.
Look at the first line there, because you're going to pronounce things a lot better than I am. Beast of Burden.
Oh.
First line.
Means I got to find it.
It's the second one listed, Beast of Burden.
Yeah, I don't think this is printed in order.
It didn't, so go to your last page there, buddy.
Right, it's backwards. Okay.
So whoever owns the Beast of Burden team, it's a chaos team. He goes on throughout the fluff and about how this team was established, how they crashed, even named some of the players and stuff. I love the fluff behind it.
Garars? I don't know. I got nothing on that.
If this was submitted, I just don't like Beast of Burden.
I have the song stuck in my head.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably my problem, too. So, if this was somebody submitting it to our league, I would say, look, how about we change it to the Cloven Hoof Beasts, or the Cloven Hoof Rampage, or the Thundering Herd, or this Garhars, because he names this location up in his fluff. The Garhars Beast, or the Garhars Rampage.
Are you good with Coach Hard Cheese?
I don't care for the name Coach Hard Cheese, but at the same time, every now and then, I have a goofy name, too. I mean, it's a Blood Bowl. There's some names like that throughout even the second edition fluff, too.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to gripe about his name or whatever. I mean, that's fine.
I set my computer to do landscape instead of portrait. So I'm missing some.
Oh, because it went through a couple pages.
Yeah, because I was printing out those other things.
I got you. So, Beast of Burden I have written down as very cool fluff. I would suggest a name change for it to be
Fair enough.
in our league.
Yeah.
Going down to the Nurgle's Numbskulls. Once again, this guy has he has some okay fluff. He talks about some of the players and stuff, but it's a maybe. I mean, I just can't. I get it.
You're just being nice. It's a no.
It's probably a no, but who wants to be a mascot to be a numbskull anyways? So I'm going to say no overall, but it was...
See, in the fluff, it says it came from the Sin City area.
Right. That's
So-
another thing. That's another thing that's about to
Okay.
bother me. I'm assuming this means like Las Vegas.
Probably the coach moved from Las Vegas.
Coach moved from Las Vegas, and I get that. It's like, then change it. Make him SYN Sin City or something like that. You know, play off this if you want to. But Numbskull's kind of weak. And I get you have the Chaos God, so you could just name this team, you know, Nurgle's Renegades, Nurgle's Warriors, Nurgle's Marauders. That's kind of easy, and I think you can come up with better things than that. So if this was somebody submitting it, I'd definitely suggest something different. Fluff's okay, though. Next one, without even questioning, if you listen to Skulls and Ones, you know there's a guy who comes on the air quite a bit named Doombeard Dave, who loves to play music for his dice, and he believes in, you know, getting the right vibes, and he also loves to cause casualties at tournaments. I promise you, this is Doombeard Dave's team, the Legion of Doom. He has great fluff, actually, for this. Once again, I love the fluff. He talks about how even the halflings will go to the outside of the stadium. They play in the stadium. They play in Doom Keep for an area. I love everything about this, except for the fact that it's called the Legion of Doom.
Even though it's a legion who comes from Doom,
I still don't like it.
you would rather just be Doom Keep Legion?
Here's my suggestion. He talks about the coach is only known as Doombeard, which is a pun off himself,
Yes.
which is fine.
The Doombeards. would
Because,
be better.
Doombeard fits the Blood Bowl universe perfect in a punny, tough way.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see a second edition guy from Jervis Johnson called Doombeard, whatever.
I could legitimately see a second edition team called the Doombeards.
Right. So, my suggestion to everything here is maybe Doombeard's Legion, Doombeard's Disciples,
Okay.
something like that. Doombeard's Destroyers, since you like to destroy and mutilate everything you come into. I like everything about it. I don't like the Legion of Doom. I think of the old Road Warrior tag team that was in WWE, or I think of the old superhero.
Meanwhile, back at the Legion of Doom.
Exactly. And that's just too close to those things that I would change it just a little bit.
And we have our Legion of Boom.
Well, I think there's a play on that for Legion of Boom with the Legion of Doom here. Bring the Doom. It's in its fluff.
Is there a Legion of Boom?
Legion of Boom
Pittsburgh?
is the Seattle
Steelers?
Seahawks. Remember the?
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I don't
Seahawks.
remember.
So it's very close. If you were in my league, I'd ask you to change it though. So not both down approved. Fluff is though. Fluff's good. It's punny, but it fits the Blood Bowl universe, and I love the pun stuff that fits the Blood Bowl universe.
Right.
Very second edition. Next one up is the Primate All Stars. At first, when I started reading this first fluff, he talks about Coach Philo Beto, which if you're a fan of 80s movies, probably late 70s maybe, Any Which Way You Can, Right Turn Clyde, remember all that?
Yeah.
I thought this was maybe a different spelling of Philo Beto from the show. I don't know. I was all about the different spelling, and then it goes on to talk about how the monkey's name is Clyde, and then
Bubbles, Michael Jackson,
you-
Elvis. 1996.
You mentioned 1996. You mentioned
1980.
Elvis,
New
Michael
Hampshire
Jackson,
Republican presidential primary.
U.S. Constitution. Not in the Blood Bowl universe, folks. Out. Sorry.
Well, it is if they were frozen for
No. Out.
What,
out.
like
out. Out.
40,000 years.
I don't even buy that. No, it's just different world, different time.
It's not a different world, though.
You don't know that.
They found Nuffle, NFL.
I like to think of it as a parallel dimension thing.
Okay.
I don't like it being in our world at all. So I'd say no.
All on you.
Next team up is Raining Blood. I think I get it. It's like raining, like you have the legacy and stuff. It's a vampire team. The fluff is all about Lestat and other things. It once again
San Francisco.
talks about New Orleans, and as soon as you bring it to the real world, you take me out of the role playing aspect.
Yep.
And there's so many other ways you can have a fun vampire team name. Take the word New Hampshire and change it to New Vampshire, and you have a location.
Yeah.
I just gave you a free one.
The New Vampshire.
Yeah, whatever. I don't like Raining Blood. It sounds like a WWE tag team or a horse, but not a Blood Bowl team. Moving on.
Fair enough.
The Austin Bulls.
This is the only one I thought you would approve.
This one's approved.
Okay.
It's a very short paragraph. It all fits in with the Warhammer universe. It's very simple, but it works so well. The Austin Bulls. Well done. The Renegades. This guy has a page and a half of fluff here for these Renegades, this Skaven thing. Once again, throughout his fluff, he talks about locations. He has a pretty good name for a previous Skaven team called the Ruined Nation. And And he has a great star player name with Sin Sin, Two Tails the Breeze. I love that. I think that's great. It goes on and on. He even works in some fluff with the ACC trophy, which is one of their tournaments in their location. So he's bringing some of that into his Blood Bowl world.
Right.
I just don't like the team name, the Renegades. And if you know me, I don't like any team that you had to say, the whatever.
See, this is one of those that I thought might pass because Renegades is good enough on its own almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, call them Skavenblight Renegades, I'm in.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Or here's a suggestion. Since
the City of Pillar Renegades.
Right. The Pillar City Renegades, because he talks about the City of Pillars. He has a character named Sin Sin. It could be Sin Sin's Renegades, because these guys do the dirty work for him as a sacrifice for the Horn God in this fluff. So the Sin Sin Renegades, the Pillar City Renegades, even Sin City, you could make a pun off that.
Yeah.
There's so many things you could do. It's very close. I love the fluff, just like I love Doombeard Dave's fluff. Just change the name. Just give me a different team name, and it's in. And then the Albion Wizards.
This, I know it fits. I assumed that you would just say no. It's like one of those that, yes, it does fit everything, but knowing you, it's not right.
So, you're very close.
Okay.
If somebody submitted this to our league, the fluff is really good, actually. He actually intertwines real fluff from like the Lore of Nuffle website and stuff. He talks about how the head coach is a former wizard that helped mess up the game between the Champions of Death and the Dwarf Warhammers in 2501. I even went back and looked it up just to make sure that, like, I was going to get him. I was like, if you're going to intertwine your fluff, you better make sure it's correct, and it's correct. So big props to him. It is, I guess, an experimental team it's a druid team that they've had at tournaments up in their region. So that's why they're called the Wizards, because they're a bunch of wizard druids.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, yeah.
Albion is the area of, like where kind of like England and stuff is in the old world. I don't have a problem if somebody came to me with this. I would let it in the league, but it's not one that I would really press on to them. Like, can you think of something else? Can you go look at? There's many names for like magic users, wizards, and stuff like that, and that's what I would suggest. Finding something a little bit different, because wizards is just very simple. And
yeah, it's not bad. That's what I thought. I mean, it's just something a little bit more needed.
There's got to be something better.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that could be.
I think it's because it's almost like a player type in the game. Because you can hire wizards.
Well, he talks...
if he was warlocks or spellcasters or something.
I guess the positionals on that team, because he talks in his fluff, there are acolytes, warlocks, ready to prove their knowledge. The confessors are the fastest of the team, and then the elders. So he talks about some different positionals and stuff, but I love the acolytes, actually. The Albion acolytes. I think that would be a cool team.
That would be.
So,
but it's the lowest of the levels.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like the Pittsburgh Peasants.
No, you're right. I would strongly suggest that he go relook and evaluate.
I'm guessing he's fine with it, but if he was submitting to the league, you would suggest someone.
Right.
Yeah.
And if he still didn't bite on like, no, I'm fine with it, I'd go try to find a logo or make a logo that I thought was better. And then I'd be like, hey, I found this cool logo. You want to use this and change your team name?
Yeah.
And hopefully he'd go, oh, yeah, that sounds a lot better.
I'll do that.
So
those are the ones with fluff, but there's plenty more without fluff.
Right. So let's just go down the list and let's finish making everybody mad.
Okay, I'll just read them off. Sith Lords, Dark Elves.
No way.
Do we even need to get into it?
Nope.
Okay. Primate All-Stars.
We talked about them. They were the
we did.
Teams.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sorry.
I actually don't mind Primate All-Stars if they're like the only monkey team in your league. If you were using the Simeon rules. Still kind of weak. But...
Yeah. The Brettfest Club.
Oh, because they're Bretonians. Get it? No.
Okay. A pro elf team, Screeching Mohawks.
Needs a place, comma, city, comma, location, or something like that, and I could accept it.
I thought this one could make it in on its own. It's that good of a name.
Yeah.
Just the Screeching Mohawks.
I could see that making
Like
it.
the Evil Gits, or the... I need to find
And if you
examples,
had enough of it, like this is just a random tribe that travels around, I could probably accept that.
Okay. Underworld team, Transylvania Trannies.
Nope.
Orcs, Clyde's Wa.
No way.
Lizard Man. No.
You don't even want to say it.
Thin Lizzie.
No.
That's all that gets?
It's
let's
terrible.
move on.
It
Okay.
is terrible.
Chaos Pact, Super Pactastic Renegades.
No way.
There's no way, any way that works.
No.
And especially
I
when
mean-
you have another team called the Renegades.
See, and sometimes I don't mind that because I think it'd be cool to have like a rival.
Our first season, we had
two giants.
two giant teams.
I like it a little bit just to have like a rivalry. Now, I wouldn't want a bunch of teams like that. Also, in the second edition, there was like the Albion Wanderers, there was the World Edge Wanderers.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a little bit of that in there too. So
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe that's a little second edition that guided me.
Khemri team, Old and Dusty.
Oh, how about no?
What if it was coached or owned by two people who were named Old and Dusty? And they used to be old star players.
Okay. Where did they play at?
They played for the Champions of Death,
Okay.
so they can't take that name.
Okay.
They became world famous
They came world
as
famous.
Old Man Rickety Rack and Dusty Clyde Longbottom. They didn't want to use the full names, but they got funding for a team, and to go off of their money.
You better spin the fluff where it's like an old Bartles and James,
Yes,
like mixed drink where
Yes.
it's just B and J on the
yeah,
label
so
or
it's,
something.
it's O and D.
No, doesn't work.
Okay. And finally, a necro team. Skulls for the Laws.
Oh, that's so funny. No,
God.
these are terrible.
Uh,
And here's the deal: we have a few people in our league who just don't care,
yes.
or they like goofy names too, or they say like I'm not creative enough to create my own name. It's really easy. Go to the Lord Nuffle, just Google it. The website will show up. There's tons of old team names. Find a race and go, oh, I'm an elf team. Okay, fine. I'll be the Elfheim Eagles.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an elf. I'm pro elf. I'll be the Galadriel Gladiators.
I just like
really
looking
easy.
where all these people come from, like whatever race. Like that's how I got Pig Barter. I was just looking at ogre stuff, and there was a small trading town called Pig Barter. I'm like, that's a great name. But we'll see.
Even if you went to the Lord Nuffle
Yeah.
and you did not like any of the team names, you could take the city and
Yeah.
have a different franchise in there. One guy in our league had them. They used to be called the Middenheim Marauders. He changed them to the Middenheim Wolfpack.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big deal. Fits, works, no big deal. Because they were the city of wolves as well, so it even fit even better.
Yeah.
So, fluff is, if you're going to write a book, I understand. I'm not good at that either. But coming up with stuff that kind of fits in a role-playing setting is not that hard.
No. And realistically, if you really like the team name, we can't fault you for that. If it makes you enjoy the game better, do what you need to do. Doesn't work for us. If you don't really care and you're just doing it as a joke, Scott cares more than you would at that point, so therefore your team name gets changed. Now, other commissioners may not, so they may just let it go. But if I was a commissioner and you came in with a dumb name, I'd be like, do you really want that name? I just threw it together. Do you care if I just give you a new name? Because if you don't care, I will figure something out for you, and you'll like it.
I think if commissioners of leagues would heavily encourage Blood Bowl team names and stuff that fit into that universe or the fluff, and just try it for a couple seasons.
Yeah.
I think they would enjoy it a little bit more.
Especially if you do write-ups, you have rivalries. If you can get someone to do a weekly press report.
And I know it gets tiring naming players or you having a cool player name, but there's tons of name generators out there, and there's a lot easier mechanics than just naming a guy like something that rhymes. It's bull and ul and vul.
Yeah.
You know, you see that, you know, it's Mac and Knack and Track. And, I mean, sometimes our league even does stuff like that, and that kind of annoys me at times. But, I don't know. You would care more.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a guy that played last night who cares so much about his team names. His player names, that he was willing to
Mousy Pouncy.
He loved the name Mousy Pouncy.
So obviously, there's a little bit more leeway when it comes to player names.
Well, I usually don't gripe at people's player names most of the time.
Right.
He loves that player name because it was off of who is it, Marcellus Ponce or something. It's based off of some either former Pittsburgh Steelers player's name or something. Yeah. I don't remember who it is. Anyways, he loved it so much. The guy had no skills. He should have let him die. He really pondered about Apothecary to him just because he loved the name. And that's what I love to see people do. Yeah. When it becomes beyond the stats and you actually act like you care about the player or you're managing that team. Yeah. I think that's what's fun. That's what's fun in role-playing games. People care about their character.
Yeah, because if you're not caring about your character and all you want to do is level up and buy new weapons, it just turns into a grind. You've got to have drawbacks and problems and alcoholism or whatever, you know.
Right. And just what you put into it is what you'll get back out of it.
Exactly.
And we do not have an open door Blood Bowl league where anybody can walk in and join our league like at the store. We probably should have a store league, but we don't.
We've only been saying that for 5 years.
We've said that ever since we started. We haven't. So I get that you're going to have a random guy who actually just wants to hang out with people. Yeah. Or he thinks, Skulls for the Lulz is the funniest name ever created, and that's what he created that when he was 10, and he wants to keep playing that team. I get that. Yeah. There was a necro team I made up called Death Servants when I was in 2nd edition, or an undead team. And I thought that was the coolest name ever. They serve death, get it? And in my brain, it still doesn't bother me, but I know it's not good. Yeah. But I know you have to accept some of those things. But if you are a commissioner, you can really put your foot down and suggest, and I don't know, I want to say like massage them in a direction that's like a role-playing game. You guys will love it so much more.
It adds a lot to it. So, I think on that note, we've about talked this to death.
And the RABBL guys, I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings. We love your podcast over there.
Glad you're having fun.
We are glad. It's pretty cool that you guys have 18 players or so out there.
If anybody else would like to find out if your team name is approved, you can tweet at BDapproved, right?
It's BD approved, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you just tweet your team name and race, and a Skaven or Goblin will get back with you.
It's a Skaven or a Dwarf.
Is it Dwarf?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it Black Pelt?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Endurance Gold, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wrap this up, and we'll come back and talk about Spiky Cup.
All right, we're back, and we're going to talk about Spiky Cup. This is the 2nd day tournament at Oklahoma Bowl weekend. It's going to be happening on, I guess this one's going to be happening on March 13th. Yeah. Because Oklahoma Bowl's on March 12th.
That's a good deduction.
And as you're listening to this, and if you've downloaded this right away and listened to it right away, you have until January 31st to get that early bird special of signing up for both events for only $40.
Which is a steal. And people need to be doing it.
It's a huge steal. Consider what you get.
Yeah. Again,
Just a reminder, for
the
40
figure, coin, the kickoff die, basically 4 sets of dice, 2 for each tournament, and plenty of raffle stuff. And then who knows what else.
and 7 games,
Yeah.
2 chances to win tournament prizes,
Yeah.
like trophies and stuff, and as well as, like you said, all the door prizes and stuff that we'll talk about in the next segment. So,
I'm not even done buying stuff yet.
no, he's not. So last month we talked about Oklahoma Bowl, and that's kind of more of our, how would you say it, our straight-faced tournament.
It's more like the major one, so it's the stricter rules, more plain Jane. And then Spiky Cup comes along, and after that stressful of a day, you kind of need something to blow off a little steam and just have some fun.
Right, so you have 3 rounds to do so. As always, we do the chaotic scoring, for like knockouts, casualties, all sorts of stuff like that.
It's an overall points after 3 rounds. Record does not matter. And you get points for casualtying, knocking out, touchdowns, winning, being a goblin team, just whatever.
So I guess we could go over that real quick. All knockouts from blocking, fouling, crowd surfing, weapons, etc. will provide 2 points per knockout. All casualties from the same things, blocking, fouling, crowd surfing, weapons, will provide 4 points per each of those. So you can see where...
If you casualty a whole team, it's 44 points.
Wins 60 points, a draw is 30 points, a loss is 10 points, lose by touchdowns, bonus 2 bonus points. If caused more than 1 casualty from blocking, 2 bonus points. Caused 2 or more casualties from blocking,
more than your opponents.
More than your opponents, 5 bonus points. Clear the pitch, an extra 5 points. Won the game by 2 touchdowns. More than 2 touchdowns, you get plus 2. Won by 3, you get plus 5. If you finish the game on time using all your turns, plus 3 bonus points. If you're a goblin team, I believe you get an extra 10 points.
I believe so.
Just by being a goblin team.
Yeah.
So,
and they win tiebreakers.
Yeah, they went. Oh, here it is, right here. Tiebreakers. Goblins love causing chaos, cheating, and mayhem. If by chance there's a tie in tournament points, the ties will be broken in this order: Goblin team first tiebreaker, most casualties, then most casualties plus knockouts. Whoever pays the organizer the most. Oh, that's very Blood Bowl-ish.
That is literally a rule.
It really
is. If it comes
is.
down to that, I will be taking bribes.
And then the knife fight, goblin style, whatever goblin style means.
You take off your shirt and you fight with a knife.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And by knife, you mean?
An actual knife.
A knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should probably carry a couple of butter knives just in case.
Nah, it's never going to happen. Come on.
Yeah, someone should just pay me.
That's what we hope, right?
I really want that to happen one time. I want it to come down to like the top 2. And it's just like, okay, well, everyone's tied, so I guess it's time to bribe the guy. Money.
Right now, somebody's listening thinking they really won't do that. No, it's really a rule because this is like a goblin that runs it.
I will donate the money to my own pocket.
As much money as we're losing, we should.
We're losing.
Also, Steve's losing.
That's a funny one.
And then since Spiky Norman is a legendary Goblin Star player hosting this event, all Goblin teams get additional 10 points towards the standings. So after all said and done, that's when all the Goblin teams leap over you if you've had a mediocre day.
It is.
So the build for this tournament is $1.2 million. You may purchase rerolls, fan factor coaches, cheerleaders is normal. Cannot purchase wizards or journeymen or special play cards. You get 150 of that. You can buy skills, obviously. Regular skills are 20K. Doubles are 30K, just like normal. Stunty teams, though, may buy double skills. Oh, my laundry's done.
Yay.
If that got on the podcast.
I'm sure it did.
Stunty teams may buy double skills for only 20K. So this will help out your stunty goblins and stuff like that if you choose to play them.
And stunty are goblins, halflings, and ogres.
Only. there is no skill limit for a player. So if you wanted to stack 7 skills on one player, go for it.
You sure could. And it's happened before.
It has happened.
And they did not win because they got big, giant target on their head.
Each team receives a free bribe. And then, let's see, you can't give star players skills, and there's no green all-stars like there is in Oklahoma.
Right.
That's unique to Oklahoma Bowl. This tournament is make your wacky, crazy roster if you want, and enjoy all the extra pounding and points you get from all the pounding. We do now. In past years, we've had you gave every team extra weapons. That was Spiky Cup 1.
First year was everybody got a secret weapon of some sort.
The second year was shoes.
Mm-hmm. Each shoe contract gave you different abilities.
Last year, everybody got some type of motorized vehicle.
Yes, that was awesome.
Turned out really great. And so what are we doing this year?
This year, since we have the illustrious Crom coming back, and
you mean the miniature that we're giving away?
And we're
for
giving
only
away
$40?
And we are giving away a beautifully sculpted RN Studios miniature of Cromnard Dung with his beer in his hand. Crom is going to have a great time at Oklahoma Bowl, get drunk off his ass, and he's going to be drunk all throughout the Spiky Cup, and he's going to have fun with the kickoff table.
Really? So we're going to cover that?
So I'll just go through the kickoff table for you. Number 2, Crom is ref. Crom, in his drunken state, decides he'd make a good ref. Roll a D3, and since we're giving away a D3 die, I figured we might as well make use of it as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Highest result gets a bribe. Add 1 for stunty teams. Both teams get bribe if tied. If you roll a 3, Crom score. Crom wakes from his drunken stupor and decides he's going to score. He runs onto the field, grabs the ball, and goes to the end zone and spikes it. As he celebrates, the clock runs forward 1 turn for each player, even if it ends the game. Re-kick the ball and get another, not this, kickoff result unless the game ended.
Somebody's going to complain about that.
Oh, yeah,
It's going to be like, I got 2 turns to score, and then he's going to come out and waste a turn.
Crom, score! Screw all you. 4. Crom no like offense. Crom has decided he doesn't like the kicking team setup. Receiving team gets to rearrange the players on the line of the kicking team into another legal position.
So, just to be clear, I'm kicking to...
If you are kicking to me, I get to rearrange your players that are on the line.
So if I put 5 on the line,
position.
You would rearrange those same 5 in a different order.
Mm-hmm. On the line.
Wow.
Just to be annoying.
Yeah.
5. Crom make funny. Like a regular high kick, however, you must position a player on the receiving team that's not on the line under the ball. And if all your people are on the line for some reason, you got to pick one of them. Crom decides it'd be funny to run onto the pitch and attack this player. Resolve as a 1 die block with no assists. Player stays in the square if fallen. Crom runs off after the resolution. If a KO or casualty against Crom, it counts for the player. So essentially...
So high kick.
You take a guy, put it under the ball.
He's waving for the fair catch, and Crom comes out there and spikes him with a 1 die block.
Smacks him. 1 die.
No matter what my strength is.
No matter what your strength is. Your strength is 1, your strength is 7. Crom gets 1 die against you.
That's pretty cool.
And that's it. And if you somehow knock him out or casualty him, you get extra points.
And same thing if he does that to you, the other guy gets the points? No.
Because they're not Crom.
Just you to him.
Crom gets points.
Okay.
6. Crom like pretty ladies. Crom has distracted the cheerleaders. Each player rolls a D3 and adds cheerleaders, fame, and +1 for stunty teams. Highest result gets a reroll. If tied, Crom gets confused and neither team gets a reroll.
Nice.
7. Crom say change weather. Crom has become buddies with a weather wizard and has decided that he's going to decide the weather. Each player chooses a weather result. Roll a d3 to see which happens. On a 1, it's the kicker's choice. On a 2, it's the receiver's choice. And on a 3, it's an eclipse. Crap, it's dark. -1 to passing, and the ref cannot see any fouls. It does not affect secret weapons, though. So after the drive, it clears up. And
All right. There's one thing I hate about that. I can see it, so many players being wieners and going, you want to pick normal weather? Yeah, I'll pick normal weather too.
that's fine.
I know, that's so wieners.
1 out of 3 chance it gets dark.
I know. Don't be wieners, guys. Pick something different. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick something bad every time.
Wonder if I should clarify that.
You came before the tournament.
So if it's dark, that takes, I guess it's normal, but now it's dark. And that lasts until, I guess, the weather changes again.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that part was
Yeah,
self-explanatory.
yeah, just making sure. 8. Crom best friend coach. Crom has distracted the assistant coaches. Each player rolls a d3 and adds coaches, fame, and +1 for stunty. Highest result gets a reroll. If tied, Crom gets confused, and neither team gets a reroll. So pretty much the same as the cheerleader. Number 9. Crom no like defense. Crom has decided he doesn't like the receiving team setup. Kicking team gets to rearrange the players on the line of the receiving team into another legal position.
Nice.
So, exact opposite of the other one.
So is this like the perfect defense and quick snaps?
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
God, that could be game-breaking.
it kind of can be because you can open up a side or a middle, but it could also really not matter.
It couldn't.
I
I mean,
mean,
it just depends.
It all depends, and I have no idea. So we'll see. 10. Crom want kick ball. Crom comes from the sideline and runs straight for the kicker, which we have misspelled. Find a random.
It's Spiky Norman's thing. I'm sure he misspelled it.
Crom was probably drunk. Find a random unless a player is using the kick skill, kicking player not on the line. So anyone who's not on the line, you randomize that guy's kicking, quote unquote,
Okay.
unless you actually are using the kick skill, and then that's your kicker.
Okay.
Crom runs and it hits that guy. Resolve is a 1-die block with no assists, same as the other one.
Nice. Could be nice, I guess.
I guess if there is nobody in the backfield and everybody's on the line, one of them just randomly gets hit.
Okay.
11, I believe, is possibly my personal favorite. Crom even though I can't say it. Crom throws shiny rock. Crom feels something weird in his pants. He grabs the hard thing, whips it out, and throws it on the field. Roll a d3. On a 1, it hits the kicking team. On a 2, it hits the receiving team. And on 3, it hits neither. Choose a player randomly on the team indicated by the die. The rock gets embedded in that player's head. They get KO'd, but since it's a warp stone, they get a random mutation that lasts the rest of the tournament. You roll d6. On a 1, you get claws, 2, extra arms, 3, horns, 4, prehensile tail, 5, tentacles, 6, 2 heads.
Nice. I like that.
And if anyone asks, they stack if they can. Tentacles can't stack, 2 heads.
Right.
I don't think really makes any sense to stack.
Sure.
Does it? No. Prehensile tail. Let's just go with nothing stacks.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Whatever.
It's probably easier. And then 12, Crom, Love, Riot. For each player on the pitch, roll a d3. On a 1, no effect. 2, player is prone. 3, player is stunned.
Ooh. Wow.
Yep.
Crom's a douchebag.
That could be really annoying. So, it's kind of simpler this year. There's not as much wild, crazy stuff going on. But it's all Crom all the time.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it fits the theme of this is Crom's year back. He's
Yeah.
celebrating that with a miniature. And that explains why the Spiky Cup dice have Crom's face on it, huh?
Sure does.
I'm acting like I don't know.
I guess not.
I think it sounds great. Spiky Cup's always been a fun tournament for most people, except for like me, who seems to be on the receiving end of getting my butt kicked.
I think Matt McDonough enjoys it.
Yeah, he brings those orcs often and does well. So
it should be fun.
So now more than ever, we've told you about Oklahoma Bowl. Now we've told you about Spiky Cup. So what are you waiting for? Sign up. We're still trying to get our 50 people.
Yeah.
And we're going to make it well worth your time.
We've got a good number signed up already, plus about that same number saying, I'm going to sign up. I just haven't done it yet.
There's been several people that I've talked to that said, oh, yeah, I need to do that. I just haven't.
I find it funny when people are getting hotel rooms.
But they haven't signed
flights, up. But they haven't signed up yet.
Right.
It's like, what? Can you? Okay. I mean, if you pass the timeline, you're paying an extra, what, $5?
I will say this. We should have at least 2 Canadians coming to Oklahoma Bowl weekend.
Yeah. A Minnesotan.
We should have 3-time Oklahoma Bowl champ.
3 out of the 4.
Brian 2 coming. 2-time Spiky champ, Matt McDonough coming.
Well, let's not leave out Chaos Cup champion, Brian 2.
Yeah. So we have quite a few people traveling very far away. We have a guy from Michigan for sure coming, a guy from Florida coming. They're coming from all over. So I'm telling you guys, don't miss out on this.
Tried to talk a guy from Germany into coming today.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't think that's going to work.
I'm like, well, he's in the Air Force. He can fly over here for free.
Oh, well, then maybe it's possible.
That
would be really awesome, too.
Yeah.
But we're still trying to get 50. We're trying to pack that store. I want to be able to tell the guy, we have so many people here, we got to cancel Magic tournaments. He would love that, too, to have such a big event. So
if you hate Magic and love Blood Bowl, come on out.
Yeah, you don't want to miss this. It also kicks off the first tournament weekend for the Scars series.
Absolutely.
Come on out, have some fun.
And if that's not enough incentive, the next segment should provide a lot more incentive.
Yeah, incredible how many sponsors we got so far.
So let's go ahead and close this out and come back to the next one. You ready? Okay, welcome back again. This segment, sorry if it sounds a little pandering, but we're going to...
It's not pandering.
We want people to come, and we want to know why they should come.
Let me tell you something.
We want to thank the people that have sent...
If you're running a Blood Bowl tournament, and you happen to have a podcast, it'd be stupid not to talk about both of them.
I agree. I do indeed.
Besides the fact, this tournament has gotten... increasingly better every year that we run it.
Absolutely.
And I'm not trying to sound braggadocious or anything, but we learn every year a little bit better how to run it.
Mm-hmm.
We've improved. We get more people out. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. And I don't know how you've done it, but somehow you got a whole bunch of sponsors this year.
I am incredibly impressed. And this is just the ones that have responded so far. And we've got a lot outstanding. I think we're going to contact some more based on this. So I'm just going to go through and kind of, not in order of importance, but leave one of the big ones for last. As always, first off, we always have to thank Impact. We get a ton of stuff from them. We order all the time. They've got great stuff. But they always do us very well with product and prize support, and it's always good to support somebody locally.
Well, yeah, they're an American-based company, and
yeah, Tom's a good guy.
We have a ton of people that purchase a lot of their stuff. He comes out to Chaos Cup, so yeah, it's good stuff.
A new company that I figured I'd give a shout out to, Brutal Fantasy Football. I think that's their full name. It might just be Brutal. You can find them on Facebook. They're starting up, so they're going to send us some gift certificates once they get done. They're going to be doing silk screen printed water slide decals.
Really?
So like the old school decals that you'd get and you put on your figures, they're starting those up.
You know, I've always been scared to try those.
Yeah.
And I only have like one little patch of those little numbers. So I've always been too scared to try. Like, I'm older now. Maybe I can handle this.
Well, I think they'd make great things to put on bases too.
Yeah, they
Just
probably
nice,
would.
clean numbers on bases and everything.
That'd
So
be smooth instead of like the Slater numbers that pop out.
if that works for that, I mean, that'll be awesome.
That's cool. So we're getting some gift certificates from them?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, they're just now starting, but I figured I'd hit them up and give them a little shout out.
And they said they would support us? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. Next, Willie Miniatures. They're going to be sending us a few coupons for 25% off orders.
That's pretty awesome.
Could spend a ton of money at Willie. We're actually giving away...
I wish we were eligible for this stuff.
I know.
This is a tournament.
We're giving away a Willie's painted halfling. Which halfling team is it? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I was going to ask you.
It's the non-knight looking ones. More superhero-ish.
Not the Pedro Ramos one?
No, they are.
Okay.
There's just two different types of them.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, we're giving away a painted version of that team. It's gorgeous. Love the team. So, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just... You're going to talk more and more about these sponsors. For $40 at the early bird price, and you get to sit around and hopefully win this stuff, is incredible.
Gaspez Arts is sending us a vampire team, and Neomics is sending us an undead team.
Yeah, that one's pretty awesome looking. It has like the mummies look kind of Egyptian, and then the other undead players.
It's like a nice mix. You could actually, and I'm sure these are the 12 count teams. So of course,
are you sure?
If you're,
are they 12?
I'm not positive.
Okay.
I haven't received them in. And caveat to all this: this is what has been said is being sent. Now, if something happens in between now and then, or they don't have the particular things, they send something else. Just letting you know, this is not set in stone. But this is what we were told. The Gaspez ones, the vampire, they're very...
They're cool looking.
They're kind of like the GW ones, but like tweaked. They're like
they remind me of like the GW ones, but like... almost like raging out because they have bigger muscles and stuff. So they're like, to me, they're like
very
blood
poses,
and like freaky raged guys. Like, yeah, they look really cool.
Yeah,
they remind me of the vampires like in Blade 2 that was on that freaky stuff and like the Triple H vampire.
Was Triple H vampire in that?
Was he in 2 or was he in 3?
I didn't see 3.
No, then he was probably in 3.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a vampire in Blade. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. I don't keep up.
It's Triple Bloody H, man.
Hungry Troll is sending us a group of figures. So, Hungry Troll has the amazing Bob figure. So, they're sending one of those.
That's really cool.
I really want to steal, but
maybe I should earn that for myself for running Oklahoma.
No, all giving away.
Okay.
Getting a couple of the Goblin guitar guys that are really awesome.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool to like use for actually any secret weapon sub.
Oh yeah. If you have the Band of Orcs from Impact.
I think I would. I personally would use it for like a score marker or like the chainsaw model, the bomber model, or even the.
It'd be pretty cool for a chainsaw because he's thrashing.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Okay. Ball and chain.
Because swinging the guitar,
I can see
that. Kurt Cobain style. I'm gonna break some stuff.
Kurt Cobain.
He broke guitars.
Pete Townsend. Hello. The Who.
Dude, I'm just going with my first thing in my head was Nirvana just tearing up shit for no reason.
Townsend was swinging his guitar one time. He always did the pinwheel. With his arm around. And the whammy bar, I guess, the little metal thing that goes wah, 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 was sticking the wrong way and just went through his hand.
Oh.
No. It went through his hand and he kept playing. That's how many drugs they were on back then.
It's pretty amazing.
Also getting a Master Blaster, which is like their Brickfarth and Grotti. cool looking character.
I want that too. I didn't even know that existed.
You don't get the.
I know, but I'm saying I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
And I want to get one eventually.
They have those.
Not stealing it from our tournament, but eventually
they have those. What are they? Hungry Ogres or that ogre team that they just did?
Mm-hmm.
Those are really cool looking. And I know you make fun of me for having a lot of Lizardman teams, but this sending a Croxagore or a Punchagore, it looks awesome.
Yeah, that guy looks really awesome too.
I want to just.
You want to buy another Lizardman team? You're like,
I don't need it. Do you know how many cool Lizardman teams there are, though?
There's a lot of them.
It's just sad.
All right, continue.
Next up, RN Studio. Not only are they doing the Crom figure, which they're having to redo because of, I guess the last ones were lost in customs. I haven't got a complete story about that, but they're redoing them. Not only are they doing those, they're going to send like over $100 worth of figures. So
that's
awesome. Grebo is being nice enough to send gift certificates for 65, 40, and 15 euros. It's 120 euros worth of gift certificates.
That is pretty
for
cool.
Our stupid little tournament.
It's not going to be a little tournament, though, buddy.
No, it's not. It better not be. And then, finally, for right now, last one I know about currently, KR Multicase is hooking us up big time. It's 9 packs.
Are you sure you're reading that right?
They're sending, I think, I'd have to look. I looked on the website. Not quite sure what KRQ is. I think it's the cardboard ones.
Okay.
But 2 of those. 2 of the Aguila one, or Aguilla, whatever.
So what Steve's describing is basically like a little carrying case to hold your whole team. Like if you went to Chaos Cup or anywhere, you traveled.
So they have sturdy cardboard ones. They're really cool. So I think we're getting 2 of those.
Okay.
And again, I'm not positive. I'm just going off what they said. So hopefully this shows up correctly.
I think everybody understands that.
Just saying. Then they have a line of Aquia or whatever it is. They're like kind of like a flat tray, but with a zipper, so it keeps everything in place.
Right, it's still like a carrying case. It's almost like a man bag that you could.
Yeah, 2 of the smallest, 2 of the next biggest, and 2 of the ones after that. And then a frickin' backpack. This backpack is amazing. It's a backpack. You put your figures in. It could probably hold. I should probably look into that. I don't know exactly how much it could hold. It looks like it holds a lot.
Yeah.
But it could hold your figures, your tokens, your swag,
It looks
a
really
board, another board, your rules, small Mexican kids,
Why Mexicans?
little Asian kids.
That's
Because I always go for Mexican and Asian because I grew up with Mike and Vin,
right.
who are Mexican and Asian.
Right.
But, yeah.
They probably always tease their family about killing white kids.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
They should. That backpack alone's like $150. It's insane.
I'm impressed that all these people have committed to this, and I'm going to be more impressed once it's in. And
right.
if anybody, we still have time. Maybe you don't want to play Oklahoma Bowl, but you say, Scott, I'd like you to play Oklahoma Bowl and try to win these prizes, and I'll run the tournament if you teach me. I will let you do that.
If I add this up, it's probably close to $800 or $1,000 in prizes.
Well,
That's just so far.
Even if it's only $500, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
So we have a lot of sponsors this year,
and please check them out. If you order anything from them, let them know you heard about it from us.
Right.
Give back to the community.
Super blessed. Tell your friends. Make sure you do not miss Oklahoma Bowl this year. Steve has already said he's going way out because this is Oklahoma Bowl 5.
Right.
And
Oklahoma Bowl 6 will be awesome. It probably will not be as awesome as this. I'm not going to push people like I have been. We've been teaching people how to play specifically for this.
Right, yeah. We have a few guys who are just coming out just for this, and they heard about everything. And
yeah.
They're actually getting back into Blood Bowl, which is amazing because
yeah.
they're like, having a lot of fun, actually. So please, 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 we want you to sign up for the early bird. I know it sounds like this is a big commercial, but we want you to save the money. We want you to get in at the lowest rate. You have until the 31st. Get in for the early bird. Get in for the next tier, whatever.
Yeah.
Tell your friends, whoever you can grab. Drive on in. It's going to be a big event. Like I said, we already have 2 Canadian people coming in. We have a guy from Florida, a guy from Utah. It's only going to get bigger.
You're going
Sign
to get
up.
at least 12 people from Texas,
Oh, we should have
4
more
from
than that.
here,
Yeah.
4, 6, 8 from Kansas.
Guy from Michigan's coming. Hopefully, he'll be traveling with some people. But it's going to be a blast. We even have, most likely, we have somebody coming in after they just got freshly married. It's going to be amazing.
Like
So-
they are having their wedding that weekend.
But
But they
don't
might
wanna
have
miss-
their honeymoon at Spiky Cup.
Exactly. It's also the big kickoff. If you are a fan of 3 Dot Block and you know the silky smooth voice of Drew Bucconi, it's the kickoff of his 40th birthday party week.
And you're 41st.
I'm 41.
You're 42nd.
42nd, yeah.
Your life, the universe. and
Well, I'm the
everything.
answer. Yeah, I'm
You're
the
the
answer.
answer.
Answer to life.
That's going to be your new name, Scott.
The answer to
answer.
life. The answer.
Just the answer. What's the question? It's not my problem.
I know this is a tangent. My sister won this equivalent to, like, you know how Surrey will tell you everything, you can talk to it. She's got
Yeah.
some other equivalent, some other company.
The Amazon one?
What is that name?
I can't remember.
Anyway, so she can talk to it
Yeah.
throughout her house. She won it at work. And she's like, yeah, just ask. It seems to know a lot of stuff. And we're trying to stump it. So I was like, I yelled out the name. I was like, what is the answer to life? And it said 42. And my sister looked at me like I was the craziest person ever. And she goes, is that right? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm pretty impressed. And she's like, what is that? Just
What do you mean the answer to life? What? I need to know.
exactly. It was so awesome. It was like one book I read.
That is awesome.
Good stuff.
Okay, well, I guess we'll close this out and come back with a
No.
shout-out.
Sign up for Oklahoma Bowl Spiky
said
Cup
that.
weekend. But what if they were going to do something else?
Also, if you want all the cool stuff but can't make it, you can sign up for just the swag on the website. Go to register, drop-down menu,
That is
swag.
true. Maybe you are in Germany and
Yeah.
you cannot get over here, but you want all the stuff. Sign up.
Yes.
And we actually do really appreciate your support.
Oh, absolutely.
So
So,
I guess that's it. Enough for begging.
okay, we'll end the begging and be back with shouting. It's everyone's favorite segment.
Shout-outs!
Okay, that's it. We're done for the episode. No. First off, we do want to thank Nate Beam and the crew at RABBL for sending in their stuff for us to make fun of.
Wrong person.
That is entirely the wrong person.
I know.
I was looking on my phone.
I know you were.
That's my bad.
You're playing your little phone game, aren't you?
I'm playing Get More Information for shout-outs because we don't have a whole lot.
Steve's always scared we're going to miss people. And I always tell him, if we miss them, we'll catch them next time. But if we miss you several times in a row,
We
that's
kind
the
of are
problem.
horrible people sometimes.
But not on purpose.
Hey, Nate Ball and RABBL
And don't forget Jeremiah,
and Jeremiah.
the new host of Skulls and Ones,
Right.
Virginia-based Blood Bowl
Yes.
podcast with school teachers and laughing girls.
I hate them. I hate so much. I don't hate them. It bugs me when women act like what we do is childish, but then want pink unicorn sparkly figures and act like that's fine. You know what? Make fun of us for playing a miniature game. That's cool. You got better hobbies? Go at it. We like it. We love it. Fuck you. But
Well, this episode was clean up until that point.
But to tell me it's childish and then go off about how you wish you had Mr. Binkles, the teddy bear, who was super cute and fluffy, and he's pink, and he's got sparkles, and he can turn into a unicorn. No, go screw yourself.
Wow.
That's my opinion.
Steve hates women, folks.
I do not hate women. I hate the opposite of misogynistic women. What is that term? I cannot remember it. Man-hating women.
Okay.
This
No.
whole concept bugs me. I'm sorry.
We would like to thank Nate
shouldn't-
Ball
Yeah.
and all the RABBL guys for having the guts to turn these in, knowing
Yeah.
that most likely it would not meet my criteria for my role-playing game. So hats off to you guys, and I'm glad you participated. It actually made for a very fun segment, and I hope I explained myself without being a big jerk, which I'm sure I'm going to be called anyway.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to shout out Tristan, who is setting up the Canadian Open 2016. If you can't come to Oklahoma Bowl next month after that, April 2nd and 3rd is the Canadian Open. So,
I think in the past, they've actually been on the same weekend.
have they?
We've been very close with them.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of years we've had them on the same weekend.
That's the same weekend as Rock Cup this year, isn't it?
Rock Cup this year is going to be on, I think, the 15th or the 9th. I can't remember exactly.
Oh, okay. Should probably look that up.
Shout out to Matt McDonough, who just recently told us about the 4th annual Rock Cup, which Steve is looking up right now.
I'm looking it up now.
It's
April 9th.
April 9th. It's going to be at a pub this year. So if
The 4th Tap Brewing Co-op.
So if we want that feel of what other countries get to experience, where we can drink and play Blood Bowl and all that stuff, should be very interesting.
You know, I looked into that for Oklahoma Bowl. I wasn't impressed. Just around here.
Well, there's nothing around here.
Well,
So Austin's probably got something better.
I think there is one around here because they just did a game night. I just don't want to be paying extra fees.
I got you.
We have the store. We're very lucky to have the store. I'm able to pump all the money into the prizes. So
Sure, I get it.
that's my thing.
But Matt needed a place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I
No,
think the
I
new
think
tradition is he's going to switch places every year.
I know it's probably not his intended idea. I actually enjoy it. Get to see a different place every time.
My big problem with this year is I have my children that weekend, so I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of time between now and then. I'd also like to give a shout-out. If you were at Chaos Cup this last year, and you might have saw...
If you were in stall 3, you were on the other side of that hole. Thank you.
Okay.
I figured that was yours.
No, I figured that was yours.
No, I made the
I
joke
was in
first.
stall 2, and this guy in stall 3 was amazing.
Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh. No. If you were there Saturday night and you hung around and watched us play our wrestling game, the Super Show game, where me and Steve are still the reigning tag team champions of the world.
And I'm the reigning solo champion.
Yeah, you're the heavyweight world
Mm-hmm.
champion. I get it. I mean, I almost beat you for that title, but...
Oh, almost. Way to go, Japan.
Well, there was 4 people in the final match, and
Yeah.
I made it to the very end.
Yeah.
Because we made sure the other 2 guys weren't going to be there.
Way to go, Japan. That
Woohoo, I'm Japan.
you get weird porn from now on out.
Yes. Maybe I won.
Maybe.
The game we played was called the Super Show, which is the wrestling card game we played. They are doing the Super Show Set 2 is now on Kickstarter. As we record this, there's still 32 days left on this Kickstarter. You can get in for like $68, and you can get like the next 3 starter sets and stuff. So if you enjoyed that game at Chaos Cup and you want to support Steve Risk and his crew, head on over to Kickstarter and pledge your support. If you were there and just watching us but didn't know how to get any cards, this is another great opportunity to get on there and do this.
If you would like to buy a signed copy, you can contact both down at...
Yeah, Steve wanted a signed copy by Mick Foley. But he gave it to me, so he
Yeah.
cannot give it away.
I was going to sell it for you.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
If you have any of the pizza that we got from that place, don't eat it. It's been a long time. But tell me what place that was, because I want more pizza.
Steve is ready to do it again, only for the pizza.
It's so... I am a thick crust kind of guy.
You like things thick?
But
Sometimes thin just works better.
Man, that was so good.
And it was greasy, so it was like
so
really loose.
Good. Just, my God.
Being thin helped out. Just easier.
It did.
Just to take it down.
And speaking of Kickstarters, Willie has a new Kickstarter for Lords of Corruption. I think so.
I think that's the proper. Yeah, it's a
new
Nurgle
team.
Looks really awesome.
I don't know if it's up yet or if it's about to
I've
start.
seen some of the little things. It looks really good.
They always do good stuff anyways.
There's a ton of Blood Bowl models that if I made a lot of money, I might have a problem similar to yours.
Yeah. This is why I'm sticking mainly to GW stuff. There's a finite number of that stuff out there.
Notice he only said mainly.
Well, I do have some other stuff.
I know you do.
But
it's fun. It's what we do. It's what everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how anybody can just play one team.
I have no idea.
So many fun teams.
So many. I should hit the 24 this year.
By the time you listen to this, Critter Bowl will be over. So shout out to Michael Lewis, who we just threw a baby shower Blood Bowl tournament for.
Shout out to Brian, too, for winning, even though I have no idea and it's 2 days in the future. I'm still going to say he won.
There's a great chance he's going to win, especially with the teams we're taking, for sure.
Shout out to the people who are coming that haven't played tabletop in 5 years. And get to play against Brian, too.
We're glad you guys had fun.
Glad you get free pizza. You drove 4 hours to get your butt handed to you and get free pizza.
No, I think Brian, too. Let's just call it. Round 1, he beat me 3-0. Round 2, he beat Steve 2-0.
2-1.
Oh, I forgot. You scored on turn 8. And then turn 16. And then, anyways, he made it to the finals. He played Michael Lewis. It was a really tight game, but he still won 2-0. Congratulations, Michael, too. Come out to
Michael
Oklahoma
too,
Bowl.
huh?
Yeah, Michael, too. They've
conjoined.
I threw Warpstone at him and made him into one being.
I'm telling you, you can throw a Warpstone at anybody, and just fun stuff happens.
Last thing I'll say is, more than anything, you need to come out to Oklahoma Bowl weekend.
Really?
To beat Brian, too. And if you beat him, I'm going to make sure we're either going to do a raffle for the people who beat him for a nice prize, or we might just have you win nice prizes. So you have 4 opportunities to beat Brian 2. You have a chance to play Brian 2.
Only at Oklahoma Bowl?
Only at Oklahoma Bowl.
Spiky?
I don't care about Spiky. Brian 2's never won Spiky Cup.
That is true.
He's not good enough to win Spiky Cup. I'm talking about Oklahoma Bowl. That 3-time champion. I'm talking some trash.
How about playoffs?
Playoffs?
How about the playoffs?
We're talking about playoffs.
How old are you?
Playoffs?
Are you a man?
I'm 21, buddy. Oh, all these inside jokes.
I'm 40.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed the show. Get on out, sign up to Oklahoma Bowl.
We might have another one coming out pretty shortly.
Well, since this one's only going to barely make January because we're busy with junk or lazy.
Yes. All of the above.
Well, I mean, there's been so many other Blood Bowl podcasts.
I blame kids.
My kids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I thought so.
I have a ton of kids, so yeah.
Well, we are on the every other week type of schedule. You are with the kids.
Right, and
So
we don't
we
want to do
kind
it
of
the
are-
first week because we're just,
Yeah.
it's the first of the month, so we think we have more time.
But also, we get screwed up with 4 weeks versus 5 in a month, so it kind of throws
Okay,
off the
we'll just
schedule.
blame kids.
See?
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I love it that my daughter's starting to read comics. Did you hear her tonight? She read some comics, and she was like, I'd like to get the next issue of this.
Cool.
So she's getting into some comics.
I don't know why you'd let her read Crossed, though.
What's wrong with Crossed? It's about zombies, right?
Is the right title, right? That horrible,
Yes.
horrible, do not Google it.
Yeah, do not let your children. Yeah, don't even look at Crossed by Garth Ennis. Right?
Enos, yeah.
Enos.
Yeah.
Ennis. Whatever.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Man, we're just rambling now. I guess we should leave it at that, right?
Probably.
All right, come out to Oklahoma Bowl. Beat Brian 2. That's the goal this year.
You can follow Both Down on Twitter @BothDown. You can follow Scott at Fat Finley, FATFINLEY, and Steve at Kilowog2814. If you'd like to email, their email address is bothdownpodcast@gmail.com. Or for more information, you can visit them at bothdown.com or on Facebook, facebook.com/bothdown.
Welcome to episode 52 of Both Down, the #1 Blood Bowl podcast. That doesn't have anything.
Don't have anything.
Nothing.
No, you want to start over?
Okay.